Yes, people. Yes, people. Yes, people. Welcome back to the We Talk Football podcast. How you doing, Quakes?
I'm all good, man. All good. It's been a long couple of weeks. Been working a hell of a lot, but obviously it's culminating in Chelsea playing in the Champions League final, so I can't really complain. How you doing?
I'm good, mate. Obviously had a massive interview the other day. Um, yeah, like things are all Millhouse right now. Do you know what I mean? Everything's good. I feel like me and you, this podcast has really done bits for the both of us, and I feel like we're. It's just crazy that we get to talk about our stuff on the internet and also do other things that we enjoy.
Yeah, that's
But
it.
everyone, just to explain to you. Kwaku is the quiz. Well, he is the busiest guy on earth right now. The guy is working 7 days a week. He's an absolute workhorse, but he's killing it. So hats off to him. And he gets to watch Chelsea lose against Man City tomorrow.
Uh, possibly. It's a dicey one. What like I wouldn't call it a 50-50 game because Man City are clearly the favourites for it. But
Hmm.
you've got that weird feeling that like things don't always go to plan in football. And this is supposed to be City season where Pep finally ends his 10-year wait for his third ever Champions League title, and first away from Barcelona. And I feel like Tuchel and Chelsea are there to spoil the party. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's a lot of the team talk going into it, being like, we people don't expect us to be here. People don't expect us. Hello. You're right. That's all right. No. Yeah, I literally just put the joke in for you. Is that all right? Thank you.
This is how we move, guys. Kwaku's in is literally in the Talksport studios now. Booked out a studio last minute, so we can talk about this. So this is a podcast. It's a real conversation. But yeah, carry on, Quakes.
Um, yeah, so I think the team talk from Tuchel is going to be pretty easy in terms of where the clear underdogs going into this, especially with our performances towards the back end of our league season and the fact that Man City rounded off their title winning campaign in style with a 5-0 win. Uh,
Yeah.
City are clearly going to this as big favourites, but just got a weird feeling that Chelsea could spoil the party for City and Porto.
Yeah, well, this has to be if Werner isn't fired up for this game and doesn't come into this game with wanting to score loads of goals, then I don't think he ever will for Chelsea because, amid the manager merry-go-round that's going around in Europe right now and with every striker in the world being linked with a different club, with the Lukaku links to Chelsea, he has to perform today. And if it's not, like, it's got to be like he's second choice next year. Do you know what I mean? He's going to be. We'll go score predictions early on. You think Chelsea have got enough to obviously surprise City? Um, what does that mean, Quaku? Put a
And
score on it.
like if I wasn't a Chelsea fan, I wouldn't be predicting a Chelsea win. The smart money's on City. They are the better team. They are the more loaded team. They're the team that come into this game in better form. Um, but as a Chelsea fan, I've always got to back the boys, especially in the Champions League final. So I'm predicting a City will score. I'm predicting a 2-1 Chelsea win, but with not too much confidence. But it will be with European fixtures, you'd always want to play a team that's not from the country that you're from, just because it can end up being a Premier League game where it's high intensity. Sometimes it can be a bit cagey. Um, and you saw when Chelsea played against Spanish opposition in Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, we could kind of have our way with those teams. With Man City, it's going to be a different kettle of fish. But I'm going to predict a 2-1 Chelsea win. Um, not with much confidence, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say you betting on that.
I'm not putting any money on it. I'm not betting man anyway, but for this, I'm not going to put any money on Chelsea beating Man City just because I'm picking it because I'm a Chelsea fan.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think it's a game that can go either way, and I think it's just testament to how Chelsea have been this season. They've been such a hot and cold team at times. I know they've performed very well throughout parts of the season, and I think a huge thing of importance for you guys is that I know Mendy and Kante have travelled with the squad, but they're currently fitness doubts. So if they don't get into the starting lineup, that I think that changes the landscape of the game. Um, I do think City just have too much in terms of the narrative surrounding the game, and just I feel like everything's in their favour right now in terms of the form on the pitch, the narrative, the players they've got, the bench they've got. Even the fact that they haven't got a striker, everyone else is still scoring goals. And I
Yeah.
think that's where Chelsea are lacking. I don't think they necessarily. I think they've got the firepower, but the firepower necessarily isn't firing on all cylinders. Um, So I'm going to go with. I'm going to say this with my chest. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win to City, and nothing would make me happier, Quakey.
Yeah, but the thing is, I feel it's a difficult one because I'm trying to work out who the neutrals would prefer to win. I think everyone's kind of accepted that Man City are just the best team in the country, if not the world. So, like, if City were to win it, then it's kind of fitting. I think if Chelsea win it, there'll be a lot of fans of clubs that are in similar boats, such as maybe Manchester United fans, even though City are their biggest rivals, and Arsenal fans and Spurs fans that will be praying that Man City win. Because if Chelsea get another Champions League, it kind of reinforces the fact that we are the biggest club in London, and we are pushing the Manchester clubs and the clubs up north to kind of contend for the major honours again. So,
Yeah.
it will be an interesting one going into this game. I feel like you've alluded to, Chelsea strikers are the biggest issue. Like, we just don't like scoring, and with Timo Werner, it's not for the want of trying. He puts in 100% effort every game. I just don't know if he's actually good enough to lead the line for Chelsea. And like you touched on, there is going to be a merry-go-round of strikers in Europe, and they're going to be strikers that are watching this game thinking that if they were in this team, they'd be bagging 30, 40 goals a season. So there's going to be much anticipation going into this game. A lot of people with vested interest, and it's just hopefully the boys can come out on top.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be a mad game regardless. Just talking to strikers, actually, I want to give a We Talk Football shout out to Robert Lewandowski. Obviously, last weekend broke the unbelievable record from Gerd Müller that's been, instilled for years and years and years and years. And the only reason I thought about that is when you said Man City are the best team in the world, and I thought to myself, who could rival them? I think the only team really that can be on their level, or give them like a real competition. I think that's the real final most people would want to see. No offense, Quakes, obviously, but
100%. Bayern Munich, because of the way they're set up and the way German football set up, they normally hoover up the best German talent, or the best talent playing in Germany. So, like, consistently, they're always going to be in the last stages of the Champions League, or going to have a
yeah.
squad. So, if you're talking about best,
And they said no to the ESL.
they said no to the ESL because they've got such a monopoly on German football.
Of course, but I don't care about the finer details. I don't care about finer details. They said they said no, and they said yes to competition. That's all I say. That's all I say.
Wait. Yes, the competition, but they buy their big players on a regular basis. But they're playing against Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League final after like securing the contracts of Lewandowski and Mario Götze. That's not competition.
But I agree with you. They hold a monopoly on German football. I'll give you that. But at the same time, they do still choose to play in a league where there is relegation. They can lose. If
Can they lose?
Well, bro, if tragedy strikes, right? If tragedy strikes Bayern Munich, let's think about previous things in the past, like the plane crash for United when United, with the Busby Babes, and they lost a large portion of their team. If say a tragedy like that was to hit Bayern Munich, they're still playing in a league where they can get relegated. Do you know they are playing in competitions? They're still playing in the Champions League. Like they're part of these competitions where the opportunity to lose each week is there. I understand that they hold the monopoly on the league, but come on, bro. You got to give Bayern Munich their props. They're Donnies, and they are arguably the best club in Europe. So you know what I mean.
I'm not giving them any props when they hold such a stronghold in German football. And we talk about competition. Like we look at the leagues like Italy, and we look at the leagues like Spain, where we believe there's teams that really run those leagues, and France. In France, we see Lille who won Ligue 1. We see in Italy Inter Milan have broken the dominance of Juventus. We all know that no team's going to break the dominance of Bayern Munich for the next 15 years. That's not competition. They're playing.
Borussia Dortmund have been in and around it in the last 10 years. Yeah, I suppose.
In and around. Come on.
I know what you're saying though. I know. I don't even disagree with you, but I'm just saying, I'm giving them props because they said no to ESL. Just like I'm giving Paris Saint-Germain props, even though they've got board members in UEFA and all that. Fine. We don't need to worry about the finer details, all right? You're just like, you know what I'm saying? Come on. Give these guys props.
Jesus Christ. But back to Chelsea. I people have asked me today, am I nervous? And it's just like, nah, I'm not really nervous. I just hope we don't get turned over. If Chelsea lose this game 2-1, obviously I'm going to be gutted because we didn't win the trophy, and that's another final that we've lost. And our records in finals recently has been absolutely atrocious. But if we just make sure we put on a good showing and we don't get turned over, because City have the capacity to turn teams over, then I'll be happy with that. We weren't expected to get to the Champions League final at the beginning of the season, so whatever the boys do, I'm proud of them, and fingers crossed they can pull off a result.
And okay, I'll give you you got to answer yes or no to this. If you have the opportunity to sign Romelu Lukaku and you know that automatically displaces Timo Werner, do you do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the thing is,
well, I suppose to be fair, I know I've been on at Werner all year, and I feel like you're the only sane Chelsea fan in the room that actually appreciates that Timo Werner has been a massive disappointment. So,
100%. And people can
if
talk
Louis
about,
was in here, Louis would be like, "Oh no,
he's. I talked to him the other day. He's joined me. Like, the thing is, you
yes.
can't deny the eye test. You can't deny the eye test. And people want to talk about XG, chances to create, whatever. I'm very, very surface level when it comes to these stats. I watch the game and I make my judgments based on what I see. And Timo Werner is a striker that doesn't score goals, so you can't tell me that he's having a good season. This incarnation of Chelsea, maybe he's as effective as he's going to be, but you can't tell me he's having a good season. And if you have the chance to sign a striker like Romelu Lukaku, who's proven himself in multiple countries now at this stage and on the international stage, he's a well-renowned striker. He's top 5 strikers in the world. You bring in Romelu Lukaku, and I think that's what Chelsea are working behind the scenes to do anyway. So don't be surprised to see Big Rom rock up at Stamford Bridge for a second spell in the summer.
The crazy thing is, he is. When you talk about Chelsea strikers, and successful Chelsea strikers, you think Diego Costa, you think Didier Drogba, and Romelu Lukaku has all the makeup to be a top level striker, and it's exactly what Chelsea need right now, which annoys me as a West Ham fan, because it probably furthers the gap even more. But yeah, it's gonna be mad anyway. But Kwaku, Chelsea, Man City. It's going to be a big game regardless. Where can they find us in the meantime? And where are you appearing on today? Let everyone know.
Okay, so I'll start with the appearing on. So started a new podcast talking all things Chelsea. So it's with James Cundy. I work with him at TalkSport. It's called Up the Chelsea pod. So make sure you look out for that. We're going to be promoting that very, very shortly. And we're going to be putting out content, even though the season's ended over the summer, just kind of building up to the next season, just talking all things Chelsea. So check out Up the Chelsea pod. And yeah, for We Talk Football, the bread and butter, the thing that we've been doing since September last season, or last year. You can find us on Instagram at We Talk Football Podcast. On Twitter, it's at WTF Podcast 90. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the We Talk Football Podcast on YouTube. We are gradually growing, and we will be bringing you more content over the summer, despite the football season ending.
Sick. Couldn't have put it better myself. And guys, just to let you know, the next video that we'll probably do will probably be a reaction to some of our claims that we put throughout the season, like the DCL Tammy Abraham race, for example, our predictions for top 4, our predictions for Golden Boot, all that. We're going to
relegation. Well, relegation.
We'd have to go into that. We'd have to go into that,
relegation as well. Just like relegation.
Yeah, why not? But yeah, we'll catch you next time, guys.
Nice one.